Hi Capricorn, how are you guys? I hope you guys are doing well. I am here to do your 12 house check-in, Astro and Tarot spread on every single house. Okay, that said, this is for Sun and Rising Capricorn. Okay, if you guys know your rising, definitely check your rising too if it's not Capricorn. Okay, I will post 6 of these this month in addition to my normal check-ins and tutelary tales, and 6 next month. Okay. That said, I am doing one of your house draws on Instagram, okay, which just launched this past week. Needless to say, you guys pulled the Poet, okay, and this is for your 5th house. So this is your 5th house card. I will put the link where I did the pull below for those of you that want to check it, okay. The Poet is a romantic, okay? Capricorns can be very romantic. They're not always thought of because they're such hard workers, and they can be conservative as the most romantic of signs, but they indeed can be. And with Uranus going through the 5th house for you guys, Taurus, okay, it is a very... Taurus is an earth sign, so it trines off with you guys, okay? But it is in retrograde now, so you're having kind of a look back, all right, over those areas. And while it can be the lightning bolt of change, it is an outer planet. It takes forever to progress, so you know, that change can come in fits and starts, and it's squaring with Saturn, which is in Aquarius, okay? So you know, and Aquarius is your, you know, 2nd house cusp, okay? For, you know, it controls how you earn your money and your income and things of this nature. So you may have had changes in regards to these things, all right? And furthermore, Saturn, okay, which is your ruler, being in Aquarius, a strong focus is there. So you may have faced restrictions due to income sources, changes in relationships, changes in romantic relationships since it entered that are rather life-changing and rather strong, okay? Even if you're young, they're rather strong. Needless to say, you know, the restrictions and the sense of responsibility that a Capricorn has is very, very strong. They're very, very loyal companions, and they're hard workers. So, you know, with Saturn in your 2nd house, the focus, you know, has been on your 2nd house of income, but it's also opposes the 8th house, okay? So it also, and it's, you know, it's ruled by Venus. It's its natural ruler for the 2nd house, okay? Because it's the home base for Taurus naturally, okay? So, you know, and what we value is brought up by the 2nd house, not just what we value as to income, what we value in relationships, what we value in art, what we value in things that we adorn our home with or ourselves with, and things of this nature come up with 2nd house as well. So that said, let's pull your other cards. Everything's pre-shuffled. I just always shuffle again, as you guys know, okay, as I'm talking. I need my 1st house. I'm going to be pulling tarot. I'm using the Wild Unknown archetypes for each one of your houses, all right, for this specialty spread, which I decided to do for Virgo's birthday, and then I was like, everybody deserves this. Why am I just doing it for Virgo? So there you go. You're pulling here with the unseen. Okay, this is giving me Plutonian vibes, which Pluto is in the latter decan of Capricorn. We'll be moving into Aquarius in March of next year. I will be doing a special on that too, probably with a 12 house spread as it gets closer, and a special on Pluto for every single sign, okay? But there's something, you know, when Pluto crosses the 1st, it's already gone through the 12th. So, and Pluto is, you're pulling the Maiden in the 2nd, by the way. So, again, there's something here tying this 2nd house and this 5th house together. Let's pull for the 3rd house for my Cappy. The unseen is a very large transformation for those of you that are Cappy rising. And, you know, if I was doing a regular horoscope for you, as a sun, I would interpret it as 1st house as well. That's how it's always done. So, but what I'm picking up on here is that, you know, you guys have been through a large change, all right? And a lot of, sorry, cats, the Pluto change, a lot of the Pluto changes are rather deep and internal. All outer planets are, so you go through outer change and inward change, okay? And with Pluto, you know, Pluto is associated with Scorpio, but you know, in modern astrology, but it is about what goes on underneath the surface, okay? What is unseen, all right? And you guys are coming off the end of a very large transformation with that. And the thing with Pluto is to, you know, take hold of the death card and transform, okay? And it brings up really deep stuff to transform, all the ugly parts of yourself, all the beautiful parts of yourself, and you know, what was unseen becomes seen once it crosses fully that first house threshold. So, you know, I've seen it come up where Pluto has come up, you know, with addictions, you know, or with, you know, nefarious behaviors within ourselves that we fight or that we change or that we transform. And I feel like a lot of you guys have gone through huge transformations, so as Pluto has transited Capricorn, all right? Pluto also has to do, Capricorn also rules the older generation, okay? And there were a lot of really crazy astrological interesting, you know, factoids for us astrology geeks, to do with the pandemic, all right, as well, because and examining where the last pandemic, you know, hit and how it affected people and this pandemic, okay? You guys are pulling for some, I'm going to call these all out, I'm almost done. You guys have the Father here in the 8th house, okay? You also have the Orphan in the 12th house. So I feel like there's some issues of 12th house is what's unseen, like I was just saying, and then when it crosses into the first, it becomes seen. So issues if you are a divine masculine and you are a father, or have become a father over this period, issues about your own fatherhood may have come to the fore. You know, some of you may have been through serious transformations or seen your parents go through serious transformations where you've questioned what it is to be a father, you know, especially if you've seen your parents divorce over this time period and you're not married yourself, things of this nature. I do have like 2 initiations here, so I'm gonna get some tea in a minute. I've got, just so I can call these out for you guys real quick, I have the Unseen in the 1st house, the Maiden in the 2nd house, the Shapeshifter in the 3rd house, which rules communications and also rules our close, tight networks, all right? Also rules siblings and things like this, okay? You guys may be shape-shifting some, you know, from around in your daily lives, like kind of, you wear many hats or something of this sort, okay? I'm pulling here with the 1 in the 4th house, okay? That has to do with the collective unconscious. It can also, you know, have to do with the universal 1, okay? Or a significant soul tie, but it's popping up for you here in the 4th house, okay? So, you know, again, it may be that some of you have really had to tap in at home, okay? We have the Poet in the 5th. And we have the Gem in the 6th, okay? And the 6th rules all service-related industries, as well as ruling the natural home base for Virgo, as well as ruling... Hi, Cappy, I'm back. Okay, I got my tea. I had a kitty knock over my camera, which I saw coming before it happened, but for some reason they love to play right underneath the camera. Okay, I am back, and I just wanted to take a look at your chart. I called all these out for you guys. I see going on here, I mean, it looks quite beautiful. I see a lot of reflection going on here, which I would expect with Pluto going, you know, at the end of your transit, okay? A lot of thoughts about life and death, I feel like have been coming up for you guys, for some of you guys, it could have been over the past year or something. I do see someone coming in here that's pretty inspiring for you guys. okay? In one sense or another, you have the crone on the 7th house. That could be you. You could be the crone in your major relationships or partnerships. You may be almost like have a depth of majestic quality to you. That's quite unmatched, okay? Others of you, with the maiden here, if you're, if you're especially, if you're especially young and you're just getting into the workforce or in college or something of this sort, I see a lot of study here, all right? And for some reason, I feel like work or study is related, or some of you guys have had some experience, which has been eye-opening, okay? This, you have the Bardo, okay, here in your 9th house, okay? All right, which is ruled, by Virgo, okay, is on the cusp if you're a true rising, okay? And I feel as if either you guys have done some studying, I'm sorry, the 9th house, yeah, done some studying regarding death, and it could have just been like watching something, like, I don't, or some of you could work with older people or the older generation in one form or another. And it, doing so has given you some sort of reflection on the period between life and death, okay? Which has to do with the Bardo, okay? This could have come up if you were to travel and go see the catacombs in Paris or in Chicago. I think there's catacombs in Chicago. I haven't seen them, but I've been told about them. Anyways. Some of you guys may have like traveled and seen catacombs or been to Pompeii or something of this sort, okay? And others of you may be taking a class or have watched something that was particularly educational in one form or another that kind of gave you a picture, a bird's eye view of that period of reflection before death, one sense or another here, okay? And you could work with people that, you could work with the elderly, you could work with dementia patients, you could have just, taken a course at school or college, which was, on higher religion or something of this sort, or watched a show on the plague or something. I watched a show on the plague on great courses, which if you're into that stuff, it was like addictive. You can get it from Prime. I can't believe I'm pitching this show right now. And they're like classes taught by the premier professors all over the world in whatever topic you want. Some of them are rather boring, some of them are amazing, and that was one that I found particularly amazing and interesting. Whoever taught it, like, I would be in class all the time, riveted. I mean, she's just a riveting teacher, and she knew so much about the plague that it was amazing, and it was just a really interesting show, I watched it before we entered COVID, and so it's just giving me these things that some of you could be in healthcare, but some of you, for some reason, I feel like travel may have traveled in the mind or physically, all right, through a course or something that kind of give you a bird's eye view. I also have this Gnosis here, okay, and that's an initiatory card, all right, in the 11th house of networks. So again, I feel like some of this information is streaming from the outside into you, that is giving you a bird's eye view into the unseen in yourself and others. I feel like some of you may be fathers or just reflecting on your father, all right? I do have the orphan popping up here, so I feel as if some of you, if you've been through a divorce or, battling your own inner wounds, in regards to not feeling like you've orphaned your children just if a relationship didn't work out or something of this sort. Others of you may be battling wounds of feeling orphaned by a parent. Okay, and that's showing up here in the subconscious, and if you have been, that is probably growing a little bit larger, as well as your tap-in, because Jupiter is transiting Aries, all right, so it is trining anything you have in Sagittarius and trining your 12th house. So I don't see it as a particularly hard place, I see it as an eye-opening place, but it makes those issues bigger, the reflections bigger. Something of this sort here, okay? I do have the gem here. I may pull more than one Celtic cross. I've pulled a Celtic cross for each one of these on a particular access point. Okay, but you guys have several here of note. So what I'm going to do, I also have the castle in the 10th house. Okay, so I think you guys are in this phase of like work is your castle, which can happen, and what you want to fill up in your castle at work may be changing or may have changed over the course of whatever, but there's some sense of some of you, if you own your own business, may be redesigning an office, deciding how you want your office to run, deciding how you want your place to be, or something of this sort here. Okay, and what you value, what you fill up in that castle for some reason is kind of note here. I do have the gem on your 6th house, so I do feel like I feel like these areas that are being popped up are coming from the inside out, or the outside in, that are causing you inner reflection and growth right now. And I feel like you are able to take these things and invest them into your own self-care or into your service to others here. Okay, and that is a sense of healing and reward for you with the gem appearing on the 6th house here. Okay, others of you, may have met somebody that that you either care took for or were of service to, that was particularly a gem to you. If so, this person may also be a mate or a partner in business and or a relationship at some point later, or you've just done a lot of growth, okay? And maybe bringing that to others. But there's something here that's coming in from networks and higher learning here, or travel, that is really let you see behind the veil in one way or another. And Gnosis can be related to the riddle and the shapeshifter, and I have the shapeshifter here in your 3rd house. And the shapeshifter, because it's on your communications, I do want to look into it real quick. Okay, give me the shapeshifter. Hold on a second. Some of you may feel like you have to wear different hats, okay, and within your small networks or your close-knit family, all right, that you have to put on a front or something of this sort, okay, or that somebody else is here, okay, or that you may feel a lack of interest or passion towards some of you towards an old soulmate, or somebody in the family here has kind of lost their fire and feels like they have to shapeshift a bit here, all right? Or you may be shapeshifting because you've transitioned out of that, okay? But because the 3rd house has to do with small networks, it's like, and communication in general, it's just like, there may be, that you're slowly moving away from having to feel like you have to put on a front in one way or another, or, hold on a second. This one is, I may end up pulling my cross on this. Okay, give me this Ace of Wands. Some of you may have been hurt by a love offer, withdrawn, or an apology that didn't happen, or something here regarding romance, okay? Some of you may have problems with a brother or a sibling, okay, that you feel like is fake or phony or something of this sort, that you don't communicate with because you felt like you had to have your walls up with. For some of you it could be, okay? This person may have been acting out of bounds, all right? For others of you, that could be you, but there's something that went on here, all right, with a soul tie or family tie, or somebody that you used to feel very nostalgic for, okay, where the passion has kind of waned and died, or something of this sort, all right? And an apology or offer or something like that just didn't work out. All right, and you may have found this person to be fake or putting on a front, or you may have been in a community or re-exposed to them where you had to put up a front even though you really didn't want to have to interact with that person, something of this sort. Okay, I also see here, hold on, I want this maiden. Okay. Some of you may have like a female figure that's younger and or single that you're highly attracted to, that presents as a wish fulfillment for you. Okay, those that are masculine, or those that are feminine, that you know, like feminines. You know, there you may have had someone here that came in, or someone that was a source of income or could be a source of income, or something here where there was a feminine figure, and that could just be you. But there was some sort of waiting here in regards to, and it could be as to a job offer where you're in a place of limbo in regards to your income or something here, and you feel vulnerable, okay, chasing your wish fulfillment, but there's been some truths that have come in, and I think that you're fine here, but I wanted to look at that further, okay? Some of you, you know, hold on one second. I want something here. I want this. Why is the hangwoman here? Some of you may be waiting on a particular offer, or yeah, been competing or felt like you had to compete, or there was competition surrounding an income source, all right? That you feel like you were in a resting phase from, or you're taking a break from, all right? And there may have been a particular relationship that came up having to do with work, all right? That is, you know, I mean, and they could just be a friend. It's just that there's something that you're sleeping on here, all right? That you're down with some truths on, okay? That, you know, and if you're a lot older, you may have a daughter that you're very close to that is that you coach or counsel in regards to work, all right? But for the majority of you, I see that either there's some feminine that either could be related to there's some sort of sense of wish fulfillment surrounding something here regarding work, and you may feel like you're naive or something of this sort, you know, in regards to something that you do, that you're healing from, you know, and I do feel that, like, whatever, there's been some sort of awakening as to your wish fulfillment, okay? For those of you that have had a change in jobs over the past few periods or something of this sort, you know, that could be what's playing out here. Some of you may have found yourselves very attracted or close to someone at work, all right? Or have an opportunity that leads to a very good working relationship, but there's some sort of waiting, all right? Waiting for a position, waiting for a promotion, waiting here, that's indicated, all right? I want 3 on this, the 1 here. Some of you may be involved with Virgo or have Virgo highly placed in your chart, okay? Or there may have been something that you really had to hold your tongue on at home or in a home environment. That there may have been some sort of period of inward reflection that you're coming out of in regards to what kind of home you want, what kind of home you want to run, all right? And you may have had to have a great deal of strength to muster up here, all right, because there may have been secrets or something else that came out where you felt undervalued, all right? Because this Queen of Pentacles is in reverse with the Hermit in reverse, all right, here. So there may be some level of feeling undervalued at home or in the home arena here that you guys have faced on the domestic front. And that may be just, you know, you having to reflect inwardly, okay, about your role at home or something of this sort here that needs to be rearranged or that didn't work out here in the past, and that's okay, you know. You know, it's like some of you may be scared to bring somebody else new in your home if you've had a live-in relationship or you have children, all right? You may have, you know, had, you know, a relationship, a live-in one that did not work out. For others of you, it's like, you know, if you're in college and you don't have children, you've never lived with anyone, let's say, I see a period of inward reflection here in regards to your mother, all right? And, you know, you may have felt like your mother was unhappy or she didn't have enough independence or something of this sort, and you're grappling with trying to, you know, figure out or accept the flaws in your mother, some of you may, or in another mother figure that you've dealt with in a home arena, all right, to accept those flaws and move on from them, but take them as a lesson of what you want or don't want in yourself, something of this sort, okay, is popping up here, all right. Give me this, hold on, hold on, you gotta move, buddy, you can't be right here right now, okay. Do you guys want this? Do you want a blankie? No, please don't get up here right now. Oh my God, Storm. Are you a part of this reading? I don't think so. I don't think so. Hold on 1 second. Okay, Cappy, I'm back for the moment. Okay, I want one on this gem over here. I feel as if some of you are dealing with, especially if you're in school, okay, something in regards to your mom or to, you know, and maybe like dealing with your own parents' divorce or your parents' unhappiness in their marriage or something of this sort here that's popping up. For those of you that are older and have children of your own, I see this as maybe a true divorce issue where there's been a change in the household for some of you, okay, regardless of when it happened. But even if it happened years ago, there's a serious transition here regarding you as a person that's internal, that's coming from the external. And I see a lot of inner work being done or contemplated with this orphan in the 12th house here, the father popping up in the 8th. That's, you know, and all these other symbols here. Hang on, give me this poet. Some of you, if you are in school, yeah, if you're a divine feminine or you have a feminine that comes in that's highly, a very good speaker, you know, or writer, okay, it could be very, very good relationship for you. Others of you may actually be studying writing or something creative at school if you are in school, all right, or exploring your creative side. All right, and letting that out. You may, you know, because this with the stars popping here in the child, some of you may be working on a project that's going to be very fortuitous, or you may have a romantic interest come in that is working on a project that's very fortuitous. Some of you also may have just had a child come in, okay, or be contemplating having children, okay, over this period, okay, and feeling a very romantic, I don't know, like a richness to your 5th house life because of children right now, okay? Give me this gem. Yeah, I feel as if whatever you're going on is going on between this 1st and 12th house, as well as these 9th house areas and areas of this, like this Gnosis, has kind of changed you so that you're doing this inner work and you're able to understand, you're able to better understand your own your own issues with like the daily drudgery of work or study or school or something of this sort that's just very rich. And, you know, you may be finding, you know, some new path to take care of your spiritual, emotional, physical health here that has turned out to be a real gem of knowledge here. All right. Yeah. Okay. Some of you, hold on. Some of you may have lost a father, okay? Because with this orphan, I'm popping up with a divine masculine in the coffin here on the 12th house. Sorry for those of you that have. You may have felt abandoned by this person, or like they died too young if you did, okay? I mean, I'm showing that whatever happened was out of your hands, is like beyond your control. Okay, but you still, it doesn't mean that it didn't hurt, or you're not facing like your own wounding here, okay, in regards to father matters, okay, but I do show that some of you have lost a father, okay, with the Wheel of Fortune here, it's just showing that it was time for that, and it was out of your hands, okay, but I do show some sort of ending. Okay, and you know, for those of you that have not, it may just be that your own children, if you've been through a divorce or breakup where there's children, you know, that you're battling those things in them, trying to make them not feel orphaned or something of this sort here that's popping up. Those of you that start a long-term relationship, okay, over this stead, or have had somebody come in, it's going to be a very deep sexual relationship, all right? It may lead to you becoming a father yourself, reinventing your own legacy, all right? Or marrying somebody that you will have children with, okay? That brings you a lot of enlightenment, especially with the crone here, and now I have the light bulb on this father. So I do feel like you guys are going through a huge awakening. Yeah, and again, I'm popping with a child, a magnifying glass, and the woman. So I do feel that, you know, some of you have somebody in your life that's a female, or you are this female where you have some very access to sage wisdom or advice here. Or if you guys do mate up with somebody that is very artistic, all right, and also very spiritual, it looks like it's a very deep relationship that will stand the test of time, okay? It may be a relationship unlike any that you've ever had before, all right, if you pursue it, okay? Some of you may have become fathers right after the loss of your father, or something of this sort here. Hold on, what's this castle? I do feel that some of you have someone that may come in from work, okay? And that home or this treasure trove, you know, becomes some great expedition. And I do see some of you engaging in traveling of one sort or another, okay? And you may wind up taking travels, and for those of you that are off at school, it just may be that. And like, if it is, it's like, obviously when you're in school, school becomes your career, especially if you're engaged in deep studies. And I do see some of you, regardless of whether you're, I mean, you could be an engineering major and you know, have to take a class for humanities that opens up your mind, or that you just love, or something of this sort. But for some of you, I feel like it's travel. For some of you, you may be called to travel for work, okay? Or travel with a loved one, all right, in the upcoming period. And again, if you do, I see it very much being very fortuitous to you, okay? And whatever this study or whatnot is that you're doing, or this learning or this information that comes in that expands your mind, it's affecting every other level of your house, of your houses. Like your entire zodiac wheel is affected by this in a beneficial way, okay? This looks excellent, Capricorn. hold on. I just want to look at something here. If you guys, with this, with Uranus going back, you may go back to somebody, or there may have been somebody that came across your path already a long time ago, or if you were in a relationship that wasn't working, you know, it may have been hard to say goodbye to that relationship, but somebody much more creative, spiritual, and higher level is going to come in, and you may have already known them. You may not have. Okay, but I see, yeah. I see indicators here that like there's been a big internal drive for change here, all right? And some of you that have been through death or something of this sort, I'm very, very sorry. Or, you know, but whatever it is, it's enriched your life, okay? And there are a lot of examinations you're going through in regards to father figures right now, as well as to mother figures, because Venus and Ceres are in the 9th house, all right? And the 9th house is trining off with your 4th house, okay, which is Aries. And then you have all these changes going on in the area of children, creativity, romance, joy. The 5th house is joy, you know, and you have Uranus retrograde there. So what you thought brought you joy, okay, versus what actually brings you joy, or what has changed about you over the course of this stead, like 2018 through now, is very, very different. Okay, and some of you, in order to keep stability, which Capricorn loves stability, but in order to keep some stability, may have tried to resist Uranus yourself and go with the old standbys of your sense or what you were taught of as security. And those things for this Capricorn have gone through a massive change and transition. Give me some advice for my Capricorn. No, you gotta, what are you doing? What's my advice from the cat? Okay, my deck's upside down, so I'm turning this around. But this is huge. You have the World, the Hangman, and the Ace of Cups. This is like a huge opening up to new love, new projects, brand new things, and I've told you the areas I see them coming in. I do feel like you were in a hangman phase, waiting for something. If you were waiting on a woman, I feel like that's a song. If you were waiting on a woman to be available or something of this, or waiting to pursue her because of some sort of competition or conflict, I think you're going to get off the fence with that. Because I have the World, the Hangman, and the Ace of Cups. The World here is a major leveling up, okay? After a period of being held back from your own Ace of Cups. Overflowing divine love, gift from above. You know, here it's popping off very heavily in your 5th and your 11th houses. In your 7th house, there's something very deep and transformative coming in. You may have somebody that you team with that really, really helps you internally. Okay? Reach your goals and evolve in a way that you've never had before. Okay. Go after it. Go after it. Okay? And for those of you that don't have anyone in your life, this is coming in through networks and work and the work you do. Okay? Which is hitting a brand new phase. All right? Where it's just, it's very, it's very, very beautiful. I want to ask on one other thing here. That's all I have for you guys. Okay, I'm going to move on to Aquarius and Pisces. I will post 6 of these, all right, this month, as well as my other readings. Okay, I hope you guys are having a great day. I'll see you later.